Squirrel Girl sucks, especially in Season 2.0. The overtuned dive comps have terrorized my nut-loving brethren. Omega pause. Just look at these stats. What is this? Even at the lowest rank, where you can literally just spam a choke point and stumble upon kills, she somehow is getting blasted.
Started blasting. Bang!
Mr. Ian Green is definitely in a bit of a slump, and a lot of that is caused by the prevalence of the tuned dive comps. But my prediction is that no matter what buffs they smack on her, she will forever be barred from the glorious halls of a 50% win rate in Celestial and above. I say that, but then watch Netties give Squirrel Girl the ability to smack two nuts in someone's face and that destroys them. That's what I like to call the your mom special. Hey Intuition, why do you think she will always be garbage? I appreciate you asking me that, especially after I just wrecked your mom. There's 4 main reasons. Number 1, coordinated dive efforts in High Elo will almost always be meta, or at the bare minimum, a fringe meta pick. Number 2, flying characters hard counter Squirrel Girl, and for some reason, all superheroes can fly, so future patches are just not going to be fun. Number 3, players are way better at positioning and they avoid a lot of spam that would normally pressure enemies off of those key angles. Number 4, every problem that Squirrel Girl can solve, another character can solve, but better. Dive always prevails. I don't know what it is about most competitive games, but they always have some kind of aggressive dive composition that is viable. Maybe it is due to the fact that pro players are so gifted that they can make any character work, or maybe it is due to their massive egos and their internal need to style on an enemy. Whatever it is, dive comps usually at the bare minimum are at least B tier. Anything at a B tier can usually be used as a counter to another character, even if the opposing character is in A or S tier. So in this past season, we saw how useless Squirrel Girl was versus dive comps, and we saw Iron Fist really took the fisting to a different level with Squirrel Girl. Her win rate absolutely tanked to an abysmal 38% win rate, and that's terrible. It's hard to put into words how bad that really is. And as a Squirrel Girl player, Season 1.5 was already such a chore in Celestial that I decided to give the game a break. It was like divine intervention for my mental health for me to give the game a break during Mr. Ian Green, the Mean Machine's descent down to the bottom of the win rate ladder. I want to point out that Squirrel Girl does have counterplay into dive characters. It's just so incredibly hard to actually pull it off. Unless the opponent misplays. Check out these clips I have. If Spider-Man just avoids major sightlines and avoids moving in an incredibly predictable manner, this kill would not happen. And this is what would usually happen. And the same example can be given for Black Panther. If you hit your root, that's the counter. But there are just so many ways to avoid getting hit by that root as a high movement character. One of the things that makes Squirrel Girl powerful is her burst damage. But the truth is she has one of the slowest kill potentials of any duelist. There's some vanguards that have equally speedy kill potential like Thor. It just leaves you wondering, what's her upside? We know her upside is not into flyers. The splash damage she has is almost completely useless against them. She has an arc in her shots, which just adds another complexity to her aim, and her root, if landed, just makes it harder to hit the flyer because now they fall out of the air, causing you to readjust your aim. And by the time you even fix your aim, they're already moving around again. If the current flying characters were not enough, we will more than likely get other ones added to terrorize and Nut Squad. Positioning is the main issue of Squirrel Girl and High Elo. People take high ground way more frequently, they avoid sitting in spam spots, and healers don't just randomly die from your spam. And because of that, all your spam does is build support ult charge for the trade-off of you gaining an ult that can be countered by literally shooting at it. We talked about dive comps and fire comps being good in a Squirrel Girl, but even a random team comp that has none of her counters can easily overtake her by just some pretty basic positioning and shooting her ult. Everything that could be given to the credit of Squirrel Girl, other characters seem to have it over her. Burst damage. Hela can literally 2-shot someone, and Hawkeye can 1-shot someone. AoE damage, Moon Knight does way more. Iron Man has better splash damage, and that allows you to target healers to get their heals off of the front line and onto each other. Upwards mobility, that's a joke. I think almost every duelist might have better verticals, or at least the ability to do a vertical. And if the argument devolves into, yeah, but she does all these things at a C tier, I guess you got me there. It's not like Moon Knight can throw an unk down and right click, left click, and kill someone with almost zero counterplay. or it's really important to do AoE damage when Hela can 2-tap every duelist except for Wolverine and Mr. Fantastic. It also just circles back to the AoE damage being fairly useless due to the fact that you'll just feed ult charge a majority of the time. Now this video is not meant to hate or do some kind of boycott on Squirrel Girl. I find her fun in spite of all these issues. In fact, I would say it is part of the charm to play characters that have issues. Try to be creative and try to find a use for them to win is really fun. However, I would appreciate some kind of Squirrel Girl buff to make her a little more competent in High Elo. Buffing things like ammo and E cooldown are really just quality of life changes and only help low elo. I mean, they allow you to do a little more damage, but it doesn't change your kill threat since it still takes 3 nuts to kill the majority of characters. I think giving her a team up, which makes her the anchor and gives her more HP, might make her more playable. Would push her a bit more into that bruiser category and she'd be able to play into dive characters a lot more. And that would just be very helpful. She would still be hard countered by flying characters, but at least she could have more room for error into characters like Black Panther, Psylocke, Spider-Man. I can also see a rework to give her E a shield or a slight heal, or her right click get 2 official charges instead of the animation cancel, which is probably a bug, but she sucks so bad Neddies cannot rationalize taking it away. If you stuck around to the end, I really appreciate your time. We all live busy lives, and it means a whole lot for you to spend that time watching me. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment if you want to see my mental take a plunge to the dumpster to become the best Squirrel Girl ever.